Good evening, East Alabama. This is the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We want to welcome you in on this Monday afternoon. It is the start of a new week, and it is going to be a crazy week. And the reason I say that is because weather is certainly, from what we understand, going to be a factor this week. Now, if you know about weather and spring sports, and you know about covering spring sports, it doesn't work out in our favor when we have rain in the forecast. So we do know that tonight is going to be normal activities. It's supposed to be a big youth tournament this week, USSSA tournament at Oxford, Fort McClellan. Supposed to be area baseball games and softball games that are really important. Guys, can you believe that area baseball, this is the final week of it. Can you believe that next weekend is the start of the first round of the state playoffs for baseball? That is just like mind-boggling to me that we have reached that point of the year where baseball playoffs are starting next week. In just a couple weeks at the beginning of May, we're looking at basically a week spent in Montgomery for me covering regional softball. Like, we are at that point of the season, with the following week being the state championship right here in Oxford at Choccolocco Park. Not to mention you got Sawyer Edwards, Isabel Rogers, Alexandria's girls. I mean, we got a couple golfers around here, golf team that's going to make a push for a state championship. That's coming up. And then did I even mention, track and field? You're going to have the larger teams down in Gulf Shores. You're going to have our more local, smaller teams up at Coleman. It's going to get busy here soon. And I'm sitting here sending an Apple message to somebody saying everything I'm saying. But needless to say, hey, it's going to be a great week. Hopefully the weather will stay away from us. Here's what you can expect in terms of the next 2 days. Tomorrow, what you can expect is a sit-down interview. We're going to have a sit-down interview where we're going to talk with the director of Anniston Youth Baseball and Pard. We're also going to talk with the director of Anniston Youth Soccer. Going to talk about those two sports, talk about the youth programs for the city of Anniston. And then on Wednesday, we're going to sit down one-on-one with Nick Burns, the principal of Hope Christian Academy, which is the new Christian school in Oxford out of Lighthouse Church. And we're going to sit down with him. We're going to kind of talk about having their first year of basketball, talk about the sports they're looking to add, and then we're just going to kind of focus on the school as a whole, talk about what Hope Christian Academy is and how you can get more information to potentially put your child in Hope Christian Academy moving forward. And then Thursday and Friday is to be determined, really dependent on the weather. I'm sitting here looking at it, and it is supposed to be a nasty week. But I don't know much about that other than looking at the forecast. John Holder can tell you more about that tonight on our East Alabama Now News, which starts at 6:30 p.m. Also, Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will have more on your local news, and then I will bring you sports. We'll have an update on the construction from Lot Mosby Stadium tonight on our East Alabama Now News. Hey, this past weekend, if you look at Friday and Saturday, it was certainly busy here in East Alabama. We had the Calhoun County Softball Championship game, had some non-area softball taking place, had some non-area baseball taking place this past weekend as we got into the big stretch of the year. And so, as always, we start our day with our scoreboard. We do have a couple baseball scores from this past weekend, so let's get right to it. Let's start with Youth Night. This was Youth Night Friday night at Alexandria. All the youth kids came out and enjoyed watching the baseball team. And this was a game that followed up the softball team's county championship. But Zach Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cubs hosted Matt Dearman and Piedmont. You're talking one of the top teams in Class 5A, going head-to-head with one of the top teams in 3A. This was a rematch of the Calhoun County semifinals. Yeah, it was a dominant victory for Alexandria as Zach Welch's team got the win 18-0. Samuel Henniger went 2 for 4. He had a double, 2 runs, and 4 RBIs. Ian Cartwright was perfect on the night. He went 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs, and 2 RBIs. Nick Thompson went 3 for 3 with 3 runs and 2 RBIs. And Evan Snow had a double, 2 runs, and 2 RBIs. Aiden Bruner drove in 3 runs. Alexandria ended up having 15 hits. And if you go back to spring break, the Valley Cubs have scored 46 runs. That is impressive. You may be wondering, well, 18's impressive. Shutting out Piedmont is just as impressive. And it was Bray Good. He pitched and only gave up 2 hits. He had 12 strikeouts. Now, Good, everybody talks about Andrew Allen. Everybody talks about Trip Patterson. Not enough people talk about Bray Good. This guy's a junior, going to be the ace for Alexandria next year. Big game for Piedmont. They only had 2 hits, and it was Cole Wilson and McLean Mohan who each hit a double as Alexandria won 18-0. How about I was about to say Clint Smith. He's the football coach. How about Jamison Edwards, the head baseball coach for Jacksonville? Got his 100th win last week. They won 3 straight area championships for the first time since the 2005 to 2007 run, and they continued it this weekend. It made it their 6th straight win as they defeated Pleasant Valley 12-5. Drake Loggins singled. He drove in 3 runs for the Golden Eagles. Ryan Mitchell had a double, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Gavin Peeler was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. His little brother Kingston Peeler had a single and 2 RBIs. Matthew Salmon went 2 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. This was a lot of hits in this game. Jacksonville had 11 hits. Pleasant Valley had 10 hits, but it was the 2 RBIs that Pleasant Valley did get from Logan Williams and Caleb Shue. That was kind of what the Raiders were looking to build off of. Big area series for Pleasant Valley this week. Now, we're going to talk about the area baseball standings right now going into the final week of area play. Pleasant Valley has a must-win area against Donahoe. Winners in the playoffs, losers season's over. For Jacksonville, they've already clinched the area championship. So for Pleasant Valley, they're looking to build off of Holt Bentley, who went 3 for 4 last weekend. And how about John Garrett, Bryant, and Shue, who each had 2 hits last weekend. But Jacksonville, the Golden Eagles got the win 12-5. Speaking of Donahoe and that big series with Pleasant Valley, they got a win this past weekend over Ranburne 5-2. Blake Sewell went 3 for 4 with a triple, a double, a run, and 2 RBIs. And that is now 4 wins in 5 games for the Falcons. Sam Montgomery had a single and 2 RBIs. And Jordan Cameron had a perfect day at the plate, 3 for 3, scored 2 runs. Kai Kleckler, pitched for the Falcons. He got the win. He only gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. The only 2 runs that Ranburne scored was unearned. He had 6 strikeouts as Donahoe won 5-2. How about a no-hitter? 0 hits given up. That's what Jason Deese did for the Cleburne County Tigers this past weekend. He pitched a no-hitter against Horseshoe Bend. He had 12 strikeouts. How about that? A no-hitter. Deese pitched 60 strikes in 94 pitches in 7 innings. He only had 1 walk. He was 1 walk away from a perfect game as he faced the minimum 21 batters. Deese and Matthew Wilson also, speaking of Deese's pitching performance, he also had a single and 2 RBIs at the plate. Cannon Robertson had 2 hits, including a double with a run and an RBI. Nathan Adams went 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs. And Hunter Gore had a double and 2 runs as Cleburne County no-hits Horseshoe Bend and gets the win 10-0. That is our scoreboard from this past weekend for baseball. And I'm looking at it. Cleburne County must-win series against White Plains, winners in the playoffs. Welborn and Piedmont, area championship. Alexandria and Southside, area championship. Donahoe and Pleasant Valley, winners in the playoffs. Faith Christian, Jacksonville Christian Academy, winners in the playoffs. I mean, I just named 5 series right there with massive stakes this week, like in the playoffs or area championship. And the weather wants to become a factor this week. Why? Just maybe the rain will hold off. Needless to say, if you're a baseball fan in East Alabama, it is going to be a massive week for a lot of East Alabama teams. Hey, this past weekend, we had 2 non-area softball games. We had a county championship. Let's get into our scoreboard recap for softball from this past weekend. Let's start with Coach Kendall Poe. They got a big area game tonight against the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. Well, they got a nice non-area win over the Golden Bears of Lincoln this past weekend, 13-8. Tabby Davidson and Savannah Reeves both hit a home run for Ohatchee. Not a lot of people were talking about Ohatchee in the preseason, yet here they are. They're 19-5 on the season with 1 tie. Tabby Davidson went 2 for 3 with 2 runs and 3 RBIs. Savannah Reeves was 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. How about that? 2 home runs for Savannah Reeves. And then Lexi Thomas went 3 for 4 with an RBI. A lot of Fitch had 3 RBIs as the Indians got the win over Lincoln 13-8. In the other non-area game from this past weekend, how about Coach Fulmer's team? They're starting to find their stride. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. And Kinley Fulmer is pitching about as good as any pitcher in the area. She struck out 6 batters, only allowed 4 hits and 7 innings. It was a complete game for Kinley Fulmer. And at the plate, Jordan Smith had a double and 2 RBIs. McKenna Holmesley had a single and 2 RBIs. and Anna Shervinsky went 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs as the Weaver Bearcats, Coach Fulmer's team, got the win 5-2. I think it just took him a little while to find his groove as a head softball coach. But that wrestling success starting to pour over on the diamond. And then this past Friday, it was the Calhoun County Championship game. It only took one game for Coach Hess's team to dominate Rachel Smith's Piedmont Bulldogs 12-2. And it was just one of those nights for Presley Slayton. She fired off a home run number 9 and 10. She had 2 home runs against the Piedmont Bulldogs. And you know, we don't even really talk so much about Presley Slayton's batting ability as much as her pitching ability. Not only did she have a monster game at the plate, she was that engine for Alexandria on the mound. She pitched 5 innings for the Valley Cubs, so she went 3 for 4 at the plate with 5 RBIs, had 2 home runs, and then on the mound, she got the job done, only giving up, well, you see it right there. Alexandria got the win 12-2. That wasn't it, though, for the Valley Cubs. Slugger Christian Hess finished 3 for 4. She had a double for the Valley Cubs. How about leadoff batter Jill Cockrell? She went 3 for 4, had a triple off the wall, had 2 RBIs and 3 runs. Charlie Paris went 2 for 3. As it was all Valley Cubs. Now for Piedmont, he scored 2 runs. You got to look for the positives. The positives was Casey Brothers. She had 2 of Piedmont's 3 hits. She had an RBI. Savannah Smith and Cadence Buttram both scored for the Bulldogs. They got to get it back right. Both these teams are going to make a run down the stretch, but your Calhoun County softball champion is the Alexandria Valley Cubs. All right, that is the softball action from the weekend. I think we've started things off pretty good. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about one local volleyball player who not only led her team to a state championship this past fall, she's now taking her talents to the next level. We have more on her in just a minute as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Can I help make pancakes, Dad?
Of course, buddy. I absolutely love these cabinets we have here in our showroom. And as much as you like these right here, the options on this kitchen over here, I think you're going to... For real, Randall?
I love this kitchen.
Let's do a kitchen makeover in your home.
Fair enough.
Seriously, guys?
We made you one.
Okay. We ought to do this more often.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, or luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That's shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room. We continue on this Monday afternoon. I'm Namath Pitts. We now transition from baseball and softball back to volleyball. Now, there's not a lot of volleyball taking place right now unless you play for Champions travel ball team. Then you probably play in some tournaments here and there. But in terms of school ball, the season's come and it's been gone. But if you think about it, with May approaching, with the summer getting here, we're about to flip back to volleyball again. So it's about that time of the year where we kick up our interviews for local coaches, look at summer workouts, and get ready for the season to start not long after that. Now, there was one local player that was, let me just say this. She was sensational. She helped lead her team to a state championship. This was a team that had came up short the year before, but she helped lead them back in her coach's final season. Everybody knows about the Schwabe sisters. Well, Maddie Schwabe, who's one heck of a player for the Pleasant Valley Raiders, is taking her talents to the next level. But before we talk about her and talk about the college that she's going to go to, I want to just show you guys some highlights of her from this past season. But before we get to the highlights, I want to remind you that all of our highlights here on East Alabama Now's Locker Room are presented by Lindsay Barger of Really Real Real Estate. Now, I do got to ask you an important question. This is kind of going to determine whether or not you could, partner with Lindsay Barger. But I just got to ask you, are you ready to buy or sell? If your answer is yes to that question, well, then together with Lindsay Barger, we can help make your home dreams a reality. Not only can we, but we will. She specializes in home buying, selling, and investing. Whether you want to buy a personal home, buy land to build a dream home, sell a rental home, or buy a home to flip and resell, whatever it is, Lindsay Barger is your friend through it all. I know for a fact that Lindsay Barger would love to guide you in the process of real estate today. So you can call her at 256-441-2389. Call her for all your real estate needs. And do not forget to like and follow her on Facebook and Instagram at lindsaybarger.realtor. Let's go out to our Really Real Real Estate highlights presented by Lindsay Barger. And we're going to look at Maddie Schwabe. Maddie Schwabe is number 20 right there. She is a setter was a setter for the Pleasant Valley Raiders. So focus on number 20. We're going to take some highlights of her setting the ball up for her teammates' success. And she had one heck of a season, one heck of a career. You see her right there for the Pleasant Valley Raiders. Coach Dana White's team that ended up winning a state championship. You see her right here. She got the opportunity to serve right there in our highlights. That's not all. She's going to come back and make another play. And she was just unbelievable. She was a super all-state setter for Pleasant Valley. All-state player in Class 2A. All-county player. She had over 1,065 assists in 2023 alone. Had over 1,891 in her career. So Maddie Schwabe was sensational for the Pleasant Valley Raiders. Speaking of Maddie Schwabe, though, she did what not many high school athletes get to do. Something I never got to do, and that is put pen to paper on the national letter of intent. Now, what this means is that Maddie Schwabe will now get to play college volleyball. Where is she headed, you're asking? Well, Maddie Schwabe will be playing at the next level, and she will be taking her talents to Calhoun Community College. Here is Miss Maddie Schwabe right here. You see her. That is, she's in the middle. Got the Calhoun shirt on. You see the state championship trophy right there. That's right. Not many players get to play at the next level, but for all-state setter Maddie Schwabe, she chose Calhoun College over Gadsden State, Snead State, and Division II Shorter. So, one thing that she loved doing was, well, being a part of a tight-knit community. It's all about family. Feels like home. Well, Calhoun was the closest to that. So, it's going to be exciting to start a new journey for her. Again, let me just tell you a little bit about her. Well, at the All-Calhoun County Tournament this past year when Pleasant Valley upset Oxford, she was the Calhoun County Tournament's most valuable player. She was an all-state player, multiple all-county player. We kind of mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but in 2023, just her junior season alone, or I guess that'd be her senior season, pardon me. It's 2024. Whoa. In this past season alone, she had over 1,065 assists. For her career, she had 1,891 assists, so almost 2,000 assists in her career. And not to mention, she played other positions in her career. She had over 506 kills, over 224 aces, 96 blocks. I mean, she was instrumental to the success of the Pleasant Valley Raiders volleyball team. And so we just want to wish her best of luck in the future. Wish her best of luck with her future endeavors as she is headed to play volleyball at Calhoun University. And so we wish her best of luck. All right, Maddie Schwabe, the Pleasant Valley Raiders, that is going to do it for her. Hey, we're going to take a break here in a minute. When we come back, we've talked a lot about baseball this year. We showed you highlights. We showed you interviews. But where do things stand as we go into our final week of area play? we're going to show you the standings as the playoffs are ahead as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Can I help make pancakes, Dad?
Of course, buddy.
I absolutely love these cabinets we have here in our showroom. And as much as you like these right here, the options on this kitchen over here, I think you're going to... For real, Randall?
I love this kitchen.
Let's do a kitchen makeover in your home.
Fair enough.
Seriously, guys?
We made you one.
Okay. We ought to do this more often.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
Welcome back into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We've mentioned it a couple times so far, but it is the final week of area play for baseball here in the state of Alabama. That means that the playoffs are starting up next weekend. So what I want to do is go ahead and kind of look at where things are at now that we're in the final week of area play. Look at where the standings are at, who's in the playoffs, who's eliminated from the playoffs. And then I even want to take a look at the other areas that they could be matching up with in the first round of the playoffs. Now, we're going to start in Class 1A. We're going to make our way up to Class 6A. Obviously, we have 0 7A schools in our area. So we're just going to get started with Class 1A, Area 12. Class 1A, Area 12 is our local area here in East Alabama. We're going to go ahead and show you where things are at in 1A, Area 12. As of right now, here's where things stand. Appalachian is 4-0. So they've already clinched the number 1 spot in this area. Appalachian is playing Raglan this week, where they're going to take two of those games. So Appalachian has already clinched the area championship. Faith Christian is 2-2. They've lost 2 games to Appalachian. They've beat Raglan 2 games. Jacksonville Christian is 2-3. They've took 2 losses to Appalachian, took 1 loss to Raglan, but also beat Raglan twice. And then Raglan's 1-4. Their only win was against JCA, but they have 4 losses. So technically Raglan is eliminated because they lost both series and they're probably going to lose 2 more games to Appalachian. So Faith Christian, Jacksonville Christian Academy are playing. They're actually playing tonight. And here's where things stand in terms of who's going to make the playoffs between Faith and Jacksonville Christian. That game is tonight. If Faith Christian wins tonight, they're in the playoffs. If Jacksonville Christian Academy beats Faith tonight and then turns around and beats them Thursday, then they're in the playoffs. So Faith Christian has to beat Jacksonville Christian Academy 1 game tonight. Jacksonville Christian Academy has to beat Faith Christian twice. So that's where things are at right here in terms of the playoffs. Now, they're in Area 12. When the playoffs roll around, Area 12 is going to meet up with Area 15. Area 15 is Athens Bible School, Oakwood Academy, Skyline High School, Valley Head High School in Woodville. So you're looking at this area is going to line up with Athens Bible, Skyline, Valley Head, Woodville, Oakwood. That is the first round pairing for 1A Area 12. All right, let's move to 2A. Looking at 2A Area 13, This is where things stand. This is a big area. Collinsville's 8-0. They're done. They've won the area. They beat everybody. Gaston has one win, which was against Donahoe, but they've lost 6 games. They got a series with Sandrock left, but they're eliminated from the playoffs. Sandrock's lost every area game, so they're eliminated. Pleasant Valley is 4-2. Their only 2 losses were to Collinsville. Donahoe was 4-3. They lost 2 games to Collinsville, 1 game to Gaston. Pleasant Valley swept Gaston. So here's where things stand with that. Pleasant Valley and Donahoe are going to play. The winner of that series is going to be in the playoffs, and the loser's season is done. So Pleasant Valley and Donahoe are playing this week, and the winner is in the playoffs. Now, if you look at this area, 2A Area 13, and you look at where they match up in terms of the playoffs, well, them being Area 13, they're going to pair up with Area 10. Now, Area 10 and 2A is Cold Springs, Holy Family Catholic, Southeastern, and Altamont. So I'm going to be honest with you, not a very strong area. So if you're the runner-up, Pleasant Valley or Donahoe, you feel good about making the second round, but that's where things stand in Class 2A for Area 13. Collinsville's clinched the area. Pleasant Valley and Donahoe are playing for that second spot to make the playoffs. All right, we have 2 3A areas. We're going to look at 3A Area 10 to start. How about this? Piedmont and Welborn are both tied for first. Piedmont is undefeated, 4-0 in the area. They beat Weaver twice. They beat Sachs twice. Welborn is 4-0 in the area. Technically, they did lose a 3rd game to Weaver, but it did not count towards the area because Welborn had already won the first 2. So technically, they're 4-0 in the area. Weaver and Sachs are both 0-4. Weaver lost to Welborn and Piedmont. Sachs lost to Welborn and Piedmont. This week, Weaver and Sachs play each other, but they're both eliminated from the playoffs. So Piedmont and Welborn have both clinched a playoff spot. They are playing for an area championship this weekend. Now, obviously, Piedmont is certainly the more experienced team, certainly probably has a little more talent than Welborn. But for J.D. Phillips' team, they just want to ride the high that they've been on and see if that can work a little magic for them this week. Now, Area 10, again in the playoffs, is going to line up with Area 13. So for Piedmont and Welborn, you're looking at an area with Asbury, Geraldine, Plainview, and Sylvania. So Welborn and Piedmont, one of them is going to host, probably Piedmont is going to host, I would assume, potentially, I don't know, could be a Plainview, Sylvania maybe. For Welborn, probably going to make the trip to Geraldine, although I don't know on that for sure. I'm not sure where things stand right now for 3A Area 13, but I do know Welborn and Piedmont are playing for an area championship this week. They're playing a doubleheader tonight at Piedmont, actually. All right, moving forward, staying in 3A, going to Area 11. Right here, Westbrook Christian is 4-1. Glencoe is 3-2. Hoax Bluff is 2-2, and Ohatchee is 0-4. So Ohatchee is eliminated. This one, if you look at the schedule so far and look at who Westbrook Christian has played, I believe they've already they're playing Ohatchee this week, if I'm not mistaken. So they've already won the 2 most important series for them, which is Glencoe and Hoax Bluff. So if I'm not mistaken, of course, the wins over Ohatchee, yeah, they play Ohatchee. So you would assume Ohatchee being winless, Westbrook's going to end up winning 3A Area 11. And so Glencoe's playing Hoax Bluff this week. The winner of that series is going to be in the playoffs. So for 3A Area 11, we've kind of talked a little bit about this. We mentioned an area a minute ago. But 3A Area 11 is going to match up with Area 16. So Area 16 is Clements High School, Elkmont, and Lauderdale County. Lauderdale County always has a really good baseball program. So Area 11, if you're Glencoe, Hoax Bluff, or Westbrook Christian, Ohatchee's eliminated. They're going to pair up with Lauderdale County, Elkmont, or Clements. All right, let's move to 4A, looking at Area 9. Coach Jamison Edwards' team has got the tiebreaker over White Plains and Cleveland County. They're undefeated in the area. They're in the playoffs. They're the area champions. Anniston's 0-4. They're eliminated from the playoffs. White Plains and Cleveland County are both tied. Both of them beat Anniston. Both of them lost to Jacksonville. They play this week. The winner of that series is going to be in the playoffs. Area 9 pairs up with Area 14. So looking at 4A for Area 14, Jacksonville, White Plains, or Cleveland County is looking at Cherokee County, Etowah, DAR High School, or North Jackson. I can tell you right now, if you're White Plains or Cleveland County, you don't want to play Etowah. So this is not an easy first-round pairing for 4A Area 9, even for Jacksonville. North Jackson, DAR, Cherokee County, all of them are, better than average programs. And so that's what it's going to take for them in the first round. All right, let's move forward to 5A. Looking at 5A Area 12, you got Alexandria and Southside, who are at the top. They're playing this week for an area championship. And then Lincoln is eliminated. So Lincoln's done. They can't make the playoffs. But for Alexandria and Southside, they're in the playoffs. It's just who's going to be the area championship, who is not. Now, Area 12 matches up with Area 15. So for Alexandria and Southside, for their first round of the playoffs against Area 15, they're looking at Arab, Douglas, Gunnersville, or Scottsboro. So that's who Alexandria and Southside's looking at in terms of the playoffs is Arab, Douglas, Gunnersville, and Scottsboro. And then our final local team in Class 6A, the defending 6A state champions, they play in Area 13. Oxford's already defeated Fort Payne and Pell City. They're going to win the area. Gadsden City is winless in the area. They're eliminated. Fort Payne and Pell City are playing for second place to try to make the playoffs. Area 13 in the playoffs, they're going to pair up with Area 10. So with that being said, and Area 10, you're looking at Parker, Minor, or Woodlawn. So that means that Oxford is going to either play Parker, Minor, or Woodlawn. And of course, they're going to host that game at home, being that they're going to be the area champions. So when it comes to the playoff games next weekend at home, Oxford's going to be at home because they've clinched the area. Jacksonville's going to be at home because they've clinched the area. Piedmont or Welborn will be at home. And then Alexandria could be at home. So those are the teams that we know are going to host. For Faith Christian JCA, they're going to go on the road. Pleasant Valley or Donahoe, they're going to go on the road. Loser, Piedmont, Welborn's on the road. White Plains or Cleveland County is going to be on the road. Alexandria could be on the road, although we feel good about them beating Southside. And that's where things stand with the playoffs for baseball rolling around. Now, maybe you're a softball fan. You're going, well, you didn't talk about us. Well, softball's a little different. They play theirs mixed up. They don't play 2 out of 3 series like this. And also, you do have an area tournament. So just because you are at the top right now don't mean you're going to make regionals. Because if you still got to play an area tournament. But I'll tell you guys what, later this week, probably on Thursday or Friday, we will look at where things stand for softball and take a look at what area tournament brackets are looking like as we get closer to that. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the locker room today. We had a great Monday. That's going to do it for me. I got to get into our newsroom and get ready to talk about some Locke Mosby football stadium, some information on that construction, where things stand. But hey, I hope you'll join me back here tomorrow as we continue on this week, see what the rain's doing. Other than that, stay safe tonight. God bless, and we'll see you back here tomorrow on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.